What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of the JnJ Reviews Show. As you saw in the trailer, we're going to be talking about movie news, trailers, and doing a movie review for you guys every week. So we're going to start off here. We're going to jump into the movie news. How are you, Jamin?
I'm doing good, actually. Yeah.
It's good to see you're here.
New phase 3 here.
Yeah, new setup. We're going new format, trying to get it going again. So we're going to get into. We're not going to talk about all the movie news because a lot of it doesn't interest us, or we won't have. You can just watch one of the other 100 shows about it because we're not going to care too much about Sinister 7 or anything like that. So we're just going to talk about what we want, or what at least we think we can have a good discussion about. And the first thing is Wreck-It Ralph 2 has officially been announced. It's getting a March 2018 release date. Did you see the first Wreck-It Ralph?
Of course I did.
Yeah, I did. I love that movie.
It was really good.
So are you excited for a sequel?
Of course I am. I'm excited for a sequel. I think this is one of those movies that definitely could use. I mean, it doesn't hurt to use a sequel.
Yeah, it lends itself to a sequel.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it, mainly due to I like kind of retro video games, and I like kind of the animated stuff. And so mixing that all together and bringing it on the kind of these retro video games onto the big screen was just interesting and a different motive. Plus, also right after that movie, really got into the Wreck-It Ralph app game where I've actually played the actual thing. So I mean, yeah, it was a really fun movie, and I think it's gonna be exciting to see a second one.
Yeah, they got the same people coming back, same voice actor, same director, so it's gonna be in the same thing. And the only official statement about the movies, it'll be Ralph leaves the arcade and wrecks the internet. So endless possibilities for what they could do there. I'm excited to see what they have in store because I love the first one. I think they can do another great job of it. The only thing I don't want is for Sarah Silverman's character, the little girl. Mm-hmm. I really don't want her to be a main focus this time because I just found her annoying in the first one. It didn't detract from the movie, but I was just we're spending a little too much time with this character. I hope she's kind of just a side person, and the story is more Wreck-It Ralph this time.
Well, yeah, I think the good news is that, when you say breaks the internet, it's obviously maybe has to do something with the internet going on. And so, the internet's a much bigger place than, say, just playing, video games in an arcade. So I think that we'll see maybe a very interesting story that we don't expect, maybe. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yep, definitely check it out, March 2018. Next up, we got a movie from last year that we both loved, Mad Max Fury Road. For a long time, the director, George Miller, has said he preferred the movie in black and white. And so now it sounds like we're going to be getting it on a Blu-ray release or something this year. We're going to get the black and white edition. I don't really see how the black and white could be better because I think a big part of it was the visuals and the colors. Everything is beautiful, but I'll definitely check it out because I love the movie. And if George Miller likes it, then I'll definitely have to see it.
Yeah, it'd be super unique in black and white. But yeah, I think definitely for me, I remember watching the Blu-ray. It was really awesome visuals because everything was practical effects. So. Therefore, everything you saw was really, really nice and beautiful with the colors. But I think black and white would also be very interesting. It's going to just be really weird at the same time, but it's going to be, I think, interesting.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it, but because the colors really popped and everything just popped on the screen, both in the theater and on Blu-ray. I'll be interested to see why he prefers it, what it adds to the movie, and so yeah, that'll be coming out. Sometime. It doesn't have an official release or anything. Somebody just saw it on a box set that's for pre-orders, so we'll see about that. And then the last movie news thing we have here is for a long time they've been trying to make Pacific Rim 2. It was announced at one point with Guillermo del Toro supposed to be back directing. That was canceled. Now it has a new release date, February of 2018, without Guillermo del Toro, but they have John Boyega from The Force Awakens set to lead. What are you thinking?
Well, I took a while to see Pacific Rim because I wasn't entirely interested in it. And then I saw it. It was a good movie. It wasn't anything that blew my socks off, that's for sure. But I think definitely when it comes to the marketing of this movie, I think it's going to get a little bit of more people with John Boyega being the star. People now know who this guy is. They want to see what else he has on the table. Obviously we saw him in Star Wars, but now it's time to see something else. So I think this movie is going to be successful, even maybe more than the first one. But I don't really see this movie turning into anything, amazing or anything. But who knows?
Yeah, and Scott Eastwood also joined the cast, which, I mean, he's not a big draw for me. But the first one I did really like. I thought it was a good version of the Transformer movies. I'd prefer A New Pacific Rim over Transformers 7 any day. But without Guillermo del Toro, it kind of loses some steam for me because his visual style is so unique, and that's what really set the first one apart from any generic robot alien action movie. But again, I'm very curious to see, like you said, John Boyega outside of Star Wars, because I haven't seen him in anything else but Star Wars, so that'll be interesting. And yeah, I'm just glad that it's finally getting made, because they've been talking ever since the first one came out in 2013 about a sequel, and now 5 years later it's finally coming.
Yeah, who knows?
Alright, then we got some trailers released today, and we're going to break down them. The first one was we're finally getting into summer. We're about halfway through. The Oscar movie trailers are now coming out. We got September, we got Sully, starring Tom Hanks, directed by Clint Eastwood. What do you think of the trailer?
I thought it was pretty cool, actually. I'm a big fan of, obviously, both those guys, Tom Hanks and Clint Eastwood. I think it's a very interesting mix of characters, and I think it's just, it looked good. I mean, honestly, just gonna be completely honest, it looked good. I mean...
Yeah, when I just heard about this movie, it really didn't... I thought, it's Clint Eastwood, Tom Hanks is going to be good, but Clint Eastwood, for me, he doesn't make, great movies. He just makes some, fine, kind of Oscar baity, white people movies. But this one, I thought the trailer, I really bought into it, because at first when I heard they were making the movie about Sully, I had known the true story, so I was like, I know how it all goes down. They land, it's all good, so what are you going to make a movie about? But I like they're going at, the aftermath angle and, the conspiracy around it, so I think it's actually going to be really interesting. The only concern I have, really, is that it comes out in September, and that's not really, Oscar season, but I still think with those two guys paired up, and this trailer really bought me in more to the movie. I'm definitely excited now.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be interested in this one. Going to go a little bit more into the actual story, because I don't know much about it, but I gotta say, I mean, it's got the recipe, so let's see if they can make the dish.
The next trailer we got the second trailer for War Dogs, which is coming out August 19th this summer. It's got Miles Teller, Jonah Hill, and it's directed by Todd Phillips, who did Old School and the Hangover trilogy. So I don't know about you, but I just, without seeing a trailer, the first trailer, I was really excited for this movie because I love the Hangover movies and I love the two actors. So that already bought me in. And with the first trailer, they kind of went for more of the gags and just introducing it. But what the second trailer did, they really this isn't just going to be a straight up comedy. This is going to have some serious things to say and dramatic heft. I love this trailer because I thought it really sold me more on why this is a movie other than just a goofy comedy.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's kind of an important thing to hit on is, there's some movies that can be just kind of stupid and funny, which I actually enjoy stupid and funny, to be honest with you. But I gotta say, when you add a purpose into the movie, it's going to be interesting, I think. We'll get to it, but we got our review coming up of Swiss Army Man, and that was a movie where I found to be very funny, but also have a purpose behind it, a much bigger purpose. And I'm not saying this, War Dogs is going to be anything near it, but I gotta say it's going to be funny.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be
interesting.
Funny. It's going to be funny because of the two guys and the director. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of laughs, but the story is just interesting in general. The guy's making money off war. I think that's a serious issue. And the fact that they're doing comedy, I think, turned people off on this movie at first because you're just going to make fun of this. But they showed in this trailer that it's actually going to be it's going to have some serious moments in it. So I'm excited. And then the final trailer we got, another Miles Teller movie, is Bleed for This, which I gotta say, I had not heard of it until I saw the new trailer, and all I saw was Miles Teller boxing. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Another boxing movie?"
Exactly.
Really? But I was glad to see from this trailer, it's not just another guy boxes, he loses, he has to fight back, he gets poor or something. This is a true story about a guy who gets in a car crash and he has to battle back from that. So I was glad to see it's not just another totally generic boxing movie, even though it looks like it will be very cliched.
Well, yeah, I think we've had our share of these movies
Yeah.
within the last couple of years.
Yeah, just last year, those two. I'm good with boxing. For a
Yeah,
while.
exactly. And so yeah, when you sent me this trailer, I saw the just the beginning of it. I'm like, oh no, look what we're getting back into. And then yeah, you're right. I think it's definitely going to be a little bit different take. Obviously, I'm big into the true story stuff,
Yeah,
so when you can relate to a little bit, and then I always like to do a little research afterwards to see what really happened, and kind of it's just fun for me. But at the same time, yeah, I think that's going to be the main reason why I'm going to maybe check this one out.
And Miles Teller looks like he's giving a great performance. It comes out in November, so they're gonna definitely, maybe the movie won't be great, but they're definitely going to push him for an Oscar, and he looks like he's giving a great performance.
Oh yeah, I think definitely, and I think it's going to be actually a good movie.
Yeah, I was very glad to see, because again, just from the thumbnail, seeing him boxing in the first 15 seconds, I was like, ugh, here we go again. But it surprisingly looks like more, especially the true story aspect. All right, so now we're going to get into, we'll review any new movies that we've seen this week, and we saw one new movie. This week you had a lot of new releases. You had the BFG, Steven Spielberg's new movie. You had Tarzan. No. And then you had Purge Election Year, which I will check out at some point because I have had fun with the first two, but didn't feel a need to run out opening weekend and see it. But so we decided to see a movie that it's not in wide release yet, but it got a wider release, and that is Swiss Army Man, starring Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe. And what did you think just going into this movie?
Well, going into this movie, okay, so when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, wow, this is going to be stupid. And then I'm like, really? Come on. And then, okay, I started kind of, seeing it on the, corner of my eye or whatever every once in a while, seeing advertisements and stuff for it. And then, lo and behold, Jack said, let's go see it. And, wow, this movie, at the beginning, I was like, okay, whatever. And then it started to kind of go into some awesome tactics, really. It was shocking how funny this movie actually was, and how it had so many different meanings in this movie. It was just kind of mind-boggling at the same time. I had never really felt that mind-boggled, I think, since, oh boy, I don't even know what movie I could even say.
Movie, you can't compare this to any movie. Yeah, I absolutely love this movie. And going in, I just heard all the buzz, because I follow a lot of social media people with this film festival, so I heard all the Sundance buzz. I heard people walked out, people giving this a perfect score, it was all over the place. So that already intrigued me. I was like, all right, this is going to be a polarizing movie. I love those types of movies, because it's definitely, you can tell from the trailer, a weird indie, not for everybody movie. And I was just I knew there was going to be comedy, because it was kind of described as a dark comedy, but I didn't know how funny it would be. Again, you were there were so many real life and super relatable meanings to this movie. I was blown away in the theater too, because I was like, do I laugh? Do I hold back tears? What am I doing right now? Because the movie just really took me on a ride.
Yeah, and I like this movie because it was a basic survival movie, as I really enjoy survival movies. And then it turned into, once Daniel Radcliffe shows up, we start getting some just interesting things going on. He has to learn about life. Wow, this movie was super relatable. I think we had so many moments where it was just wow. And then, it hits you with these funny moments that really hit home. And then there was also some very sad moments. So I think this movie just did it all. I think it was really shocking, because I thought this movie was going to be terrible. But wow, coming into this movie and then going out, it was totally different. Let me just tell you that.
Yeah, and the performances, there's really just two guys in this movie. I thought Paul Dano was really underrated, because he was I loved him in Prisoners and Love and Mercy, which is in my top 10 of last year. I think he's just super under the radar, and he was so good in this movie, carrying it. And then Daniel Radcliffe is given an impossible task as an actor to have to pull off, and he was so good too, because you end up caring about both these characters so much and getting so invested in them emotionally. I just think they both pulled it off phenomenally.
Yeah, it was excellent. It really was, and I was really impressed. If I had to rate this movie, which I will, don't worry, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. I'll be completely honest. I think it was just the most important thing I always value is originality, and this movie just did that like crazy. It brought in so many different aspects and just tugged at every string possible, really. And I was very impressed. Both actors in this movie, can't believe basically two actors in this movie, carried an excellent film all the way throughout. I wasn't bored at a single moment. This movie was just interesting and fun to follow. And I can't believe it. I really was impressed.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say that kind of took me down for this movie, because about like an hour and a half in, I was like this is a perfect movie. Like, this is my favorite movie of the year. Like, I'm shocked. I'm gonna give this movie like a perfect score. But then the ending isn't. It's still a good ending. Like, it's still good, like, for what they were going for. But just in my head, I like halfway through, I thought they were gonna go a certain way, and like they zigged when I thought they were gonna zag, basically. And that's not a bad thing, but I just thought they could have gone like a certain way to push the emotion more. But they settled on going a different route. So without spoiling it, I just thought the ending, it kind of, I think it's like maybe like 5 or 10 minutes like stretched out a little bit, like to go for a little more. But I didn't mind it because I loved watching this movie, and overall I'm right there with you. I'm going 9 out of 10. Definitely one of my favorite movies of the year so far. We're only halfway through, but I think this will definitely end up in my top 10 of the year, because you won't see another movie like it this year, that's for sure. I can't compare it to any other movie, and I really loved it.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree.
Alright, so this has been the first episode of the JnJ Reviews Show. Let us know down below what you think of the new format, and if you want to have us keep doing this. And also let us know what you thought of Swiss Army Man, and I doubt anybody's seen it, so go see it right now. JnJ Reviews.
Signing out.